Meantime, a major business development concerning the war in Ukraine, McDonald's deciding to pull out of Russia. The company previously shut down the more than 800 restaurants it has in Russia on a temporary basis, but now says it plans to end its 30-year relationship with the country altogether. Washington correspondent Evan Lambert joining us live now. So, Evan, seems like a big deal here. What pushed McDonald's to take this extraordinary step?
Well, it is a big deal, Nichole. It means no more golden arches in Russia. McDonald's making that announcement today. And the news, it doesn't just mean Russians won't be able to get a Big Mac or Happy Meal. This speaks to a backlash against Vladimir Putin's war. McDonald's announced in March that it would temporarily close its 850 stores in Russia. But now it says they will close permanently and sell the restaurants. This is 30 years after becoming the first American fast food available in the Soviet Union.
I think it's incredibly tragic for the Russian people, not just because they're not going to be able to get McDonald's hamburgers, because of what else it portends, which is that McDonald's and other Western companies, other major European companies, American companies aren't going to invest in Russia.
McDonald's CEO saying that this was a tough decision, but however, we have a commitment to our global community and must remain steadfast in our values, and our commitment to our values means that we can no longer keep the arches shining there. This likely means that the company's 62,000 employees will be out of a job. Nichole?
All right, Evan Lambert live in D.C. Thank you. Joining me now to talk about what kind of impact McDonald's move could have on a larger scale, business reporter Shibani Joshi. Shibani, thank you so much for being here. You know, we've seen other companies, weeks ago make these type of announcements. So why is McDonald's doing this now?
Well, Nichole, I believe that McDonald's is sort of facing the truth about the crisis in the Ukraine, is that we had all, I think, believed sitting back and doing a wait and see approach was the most prudent thing to do, certainly from a business perspective, unsure of how quickly the situation in the crisis would resolve itself. I think McDonald's and many other companies out there are resolved to the fact that this is could be a long-term situation. And then you add this into supply chain issues, rising food costs, difficulty finding employees, getting suppliers and raw materials in. And McDonald's, just reading the tea leaves here, is that doing business in Russia just doesn't make a lot of sense now or in the going future.
All right, but we know McDonald's has, thousands of restaurants in hundreds of other countries like China, Belarus, Saudi Arabia. So will leaving Russia really have any impact?
It depends on who you ask and what perspective you're looking at here. McDonald's already in the first quarter said that it will not be impactless. The company did face a loss of $27 million because of its suspensions of its operations the first quarter of this year. And analysts predict that it is going to have to make somewhere in the middle of $1.2 to $1.4 billion in terms of a write-off. If you are a McDonald's shareholder, and the majority of us are, because we invest our money in the S&P 500 and invest across the spectrum of different companies out there, this is going to take a hit to overall earnings and the financial future of McDonald's. That being said, if you look at the overall revenue streams that the Russian economy contributes to the McDonald's market, it is in the top 20 of overall markets. So you're not talking about a China, you're not talking about a United States. The company says it is trying to align its company values. I also think it's also an easier proposition to make in terms of pulling back its business, because it is not a huge market. It's not a huge moneymaker in terms of the overall business of McDonald's.
All right, so, not a huge market, not a huge moneymaker, but we know, of course, there was a lot of excitement when McDonald's first opened its restaurant in Moscow. That was back in 1990. So, can you talk a little bit more about what it really means from a business perspective?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of companies are taking a wait and see approach, and what we're seeing now is two different camps starting to emerge. You have companies like McDonald's up until this point, and frankly, it took a little bit of heat for suspending its operations, continuing to pay employees, continuing to keep its operations running, waiting for the situation to resolve itself. And it's not alone. Up until now, and many other companies are in this boat. You have companies like Nike and the Walt Disney Company and Apple. Even Netflix has said in its recent report that it is starting to see it impact the bottom line. Then on the other hand, you have companies like McDonald's that are pulling out. Little Caesars, Heineken, they can't have their beer and pizza in the same way that they used to, are saying they really are putting their money where their mouth is, aligning their corporate values, and really facing the uncertainty of a long road ahead with this crisis in the Ukraine, and then the other issues of supply chain and rising food costs, that it just does not make sense to make money in Russia. And in a lot of cases, it is not, a huge moneymaker as it is for McDonald's either.
All right. Well, McDonald's making the move there in Russia. Shivani Joshi, thank you so much.
Great, thanks.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.